Hi, I'm here today with a rifle, the Winchester Model 52 that I own, and this is a rifle I've had for many years, since probably maybe the mid to late 80s. I bought it at a gun shop. It back in those days it wasn't a whole lot of money. Probably I have it written in my book, but about $325. That's about what I paid for it, and it came with the Redfield Olympic sight and the globe sight up here, and I had shot the rifle in uh, inside for a local rifle team, and it's a position shooting. It's an interesting uh, sport, I guess you want to call it. But it's an interesting discipline, and these rifles were used a lot for that in the 1950s and 60s. There just wasn't a better uh, gun made in the United States for that purpose. The 22. This was a beautifully made rifle and very accurate. Of course, Anschutz come along and kind of nudged them out of the way. They just had I think the ergonomics were a little bit better, and the way you could position the rifle, they were a little bit lighter, and the stock configuration made it easier to use the gun. And these had kind of been put to the wayside, and there were a lot of them out there for sale in the 70s and the 80s. And everybody wanted the Anschutz, and I guess so. So I had bought this years ago, and I kept it in my gun cupboard for years, occasionally taking it out and having a little fun with it. But I kept the iron sights on it, even though it had been drilled and tapped for a scope. Just never really had the inclination to get it out and use the rifle with a scope. So this year I had decided, after a little bit of thought, hey, I'd like to get into the precision rifle shooting, but I don't really have I don't have the desire to buy my way into that. I have enough guns right now, more than enough. And I thought, well, I could probably reinvent this into a precision type 22 rifle. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the Model 52 as a precision type rifle. And I did go out and buy a scope, and I tried to keep this as budget friendly as possible. So, looking through the internet, I come across this Discovery scope, and I'll show you that in a minute. And I thought, hey, these things were priced fairly decent for a good quality product. So I went ahead and I decided to get that. And then more about that in a little bit. But I'm going to get that scope mounted on here, and I'm going to take you out to the range, and we're going to shoot 100 yards with this rifle and that scope and show you what kind of groups we can get. So I'll see you when I come back. See if we can hit anything here. Let's hope I don't hit my camera. That was me. Okay. Got everything. That was SK standard. Yeah, we're going to try. I always like to shoot 10 shots. I did pull one pretty radical pull. This has a aftermarket trigger called Kanjar. And back in the 60s, this guy came out with these triggers. And this has a smaller boot than your trigger than a regular Kanjar, but it is a Kanjar trigger. and it is very, very light, into the ounces. So it's the way I bought the rifle. So it's always had a, if you want to call it a good trigger, it has a very good trigger. You don't, it doesn't take much to set it off, but it don't go off. I mean, you can nail it. The triggers are really well made. Okay, we're gonna do 5 more at the same target. All right, well, that's the Winchester 52. Hi, welcome back. We were just at the range, and you've seen, I took the time to film a couple of groups that I had shot down there. I only edited it for one group, and I'll show you those groups in a minute. For a second, I'll talk about the scope. This is it. It is a Discovery ED PRS Gen 2 5-25. And I was actually very satisfied with the scope. It's very clear. It does have a first focal plane. The target knobs are very tactile, and for what it is, for the money, I don't think the only disadvantage I've seen is just the size of the thing. It is a huge, huge scope, but so is the Winchester Model 52. This is not a light rifle. It's just to the point now where shooting it offhand, I just am no longer, I can't hold it long enough to really do any good with it. So it's just been a bench gun for me now for the last 5 or 6 years. But yeah, that being said, I was actually impressed with the scope. It seemed to do just fine. Now the rifle, the rifle is 80 years old, and it's, I'm not looking for perfection here. This isn't a brand new rifle. This isn't a custom barrel, but it is a testament to the test of time with, an old rifle with some of the newer ammunition. I was using SK Plus, the yellow box. It was the cheaper ammunition. I mean, the last thing I really want to do is to get involved in spending $15 for a box of 50-22 round. It's just, to me, that's a really high price to pay. But I guess if you're in the precision 22, it's not. And I'm not, I'm not, hey, you spend whatever you want. But for me, $5 or $6 a box is about where I want to be comfortable just trying the game to see how it is. And that's what we were shooting, the SK Plus. And I had some red box ammo. I tried it, but I didn't have enough of it to really give it a thorough try. So I'm going to get some more of that, but that's a little bit more expensive. You're running around $10 a box for that, and then it kind of goes up from there. I'd love to try some of the Lapua. The problem with trying it and everything working great is then you're kind of like, well, now you got to buy, $18 box shells to shoot out of your gun. And I'm just not interested in doing that. So for you guys out there just trying this for the fun of it, this is a very reasonably priced scope. I think it was like $350. It works very, very well. I didn't have any problem mounting it on my rifle. It comes with the mounts, and it comes with the rings, and it's pretty much straightforward. So I enjoyed the session out there. I'll show you the groups. The group that you saw on the video was this group here. This is, you got 10 shots, except for the one I pulled. They're all within 1.5 inches. I had one flyer, but if you take 8 of them, they're about 1 inch. That's not bad for an 80-year-old rifle. Here's another one I had shot I mean, this one, the outer circle is about 3, so about 2.5 inch group. This is just, this is me getting warmed up. I mean, I don't want to say, I would say that under 2 inches about where I'm going to be with this rifle. So I think that's about where I'm going to be. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. Uh, this is just letting you guys know that not everything is this. It's more like this. And, even getting started here, and I'm not sure what I might have adjusted from these two impacts right here, but the bulk of the 10 shots were within the 2 inch range. That's where I'm at with the precision stuff. Can you get better groups? Yeah. Will I be able to film better groups? Yeah, but I'm not going to be selective with you guys. I'm going to show you what I shoot. I can't film everything, but rest assured, I'll show you what I shoot. I mean, it's no shame for an 80-year-old 22 long rifle to have some, hiccups. I mean, that's just the way it is. So appreciate you joining me. If you'd like to like and subscribe, if you have any comments, leave them down below. And I will see you again. Have a great day.